That is the only reason for this. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is the 2020 version. I feel like I have to preface that for future viewers wondering which version this is. We are in 2023. So this is a relatively large departure from the usual type of flying that I do, not because the plane necessarily, but because I know nothing about this plane. I have very, very little experience or knowledge around Diamond aircraft, but the one of the developers for Cows, creators of Worlds, which is a cool name, gave me this early access copy of their DA42 mod, and I'm going to review this, preview it, whatever we're about to do, however you want to classify that, coming from a very particular angle. And this is TIW. um, I never fly up here, and I have this beautiful Orbic scenery, so I felt like it was a cool spot to do some testing of this DA42. So I want to, for those of you watching on YouTube, I want to provide as much information as early as possible in this video about this plane. But there are a couple of non-specific airplane things that I wanted to talk about and why I am looking at this airplane. So my usual focus on the flight simulator is to, one, I want it to be fun. I want it to not feel like a chore. I want it to be interesting for me to do. That's what keeps me doing it, is if it's easy for me to pick up. I have a very demanding job that keeps me on the computer, typing emails, doing video calls all day long, talking all day long. So I really try to, I've kind of gravitated towards flights and airplanes that I'm very familiar with, because it takes less brain power to get up to speed on something I'm unfamiliar with. So that's why you don't see me in a lot of airliners or a lot of planes that I'm not familiar with, or have been introduced to in some capacity in real life. So this is a departure in that, because one of the developers, members of Cows, sent me this early copy to look at, and he thought that I would really enjoy what they've done to this plane. And I can say right off the bat, again, as somebody that is US based, so we have some Diamond aircraft, but it really doesn't feel like a lot. It's I believe, Austrian manufactured plane, and they're just not as popular in the U.S. for whatever reason. I mean, there's probably a whole dissertation that could be written on that, but I think it's a combination of cost, legacy aircraft here in the U.S. So the demand isn't very high. They're diesel. They run on Jet A. It's a little bit. I don't want to say goofy, because that's not really that's not really the point, or a factor. But anyway, we just don't see them a lot, so I have not been exposed to them a whole lot. That's not to say that they're not around. I've sat in a couple of them, but I have no time in the air with them. So I'm going to read off the list of features from the developer, and we'll kind of go through some of them and take this plane for a little flight. There is some really cool immersive things about this plane that I think, even if you are a US aviation enthusiast and you don't see a lot of these, but you're looking for a really fun, easy to fly twin engine plane, this will hopefully show you why you really should look at this Cows mod. Now, full disclosure as well, I'm not actually sure if this is a paid mod or if this is a freeware mod. From my very, very early experience so far, doesn't matter. If it's free, definitely pick it up. If it's paid, I would still pick it up, because it's very lovingly done, with a lot of stuff that I think is very cool. So I'm gonna talk about the power plant, which has a lot of modifications done to it in this plane. And you know what? I'm gonna be really, really stupid because I didn't do this before. So I apologize for the unprofessionalism of this, but Diamond DA42 NG engines. I don't even know what. Okay, so it's got the Ostro AE300 turbo diesel. I actually think, someone correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I think those are based off of Mercedes engines. Is that a am I thinking of something completely different? It is. Okay. Yeah, got it. I I even surprise myself sometimes. Look at that. So, okay, let's read off this list here. This is very cool. Power plant. FADEC with ECUs, ECU test, ECU errors, and ECU runtime saving and high altitude flameout prevention. So that is a custom feature that is added for the Cows DA42. Now fade again. I am coming at this from like I am reading this for the first time. I have no idea. If you're watching this on YouTube, please comment below if you know more about this plan than I do, so anyone watching this can read and be informed. And obviously, if anyone in the chat has any intelligent things to add that I am clearly missing, please. But I, again, practical purposes, I finished work, shut my laptop, and immediately came here, so I have had not 1 minute to prep this. Custom manifold pressure and turbo simulation with alternate air and filter icing. So a lot of this is systems related and about realistic engine management and engine performance, which I think is really, really cool and adds a ton for it. You can tell that this was developed by people that have a love for this airplane in real life and want to take the time to model things that are particular to these engines and to this plane. Custom water cooling with water pump and thermostat. Custom oil cooling with oil water heat exchanger. Custom oil pressure simulation with oil bypass valve. Good lord. Custom gearbox temperature simulation. So these are geared engines. I believe they run at, well, I'm not even going to make up. They run at a different RPM. It's not a direct drive linkage like you would have in, the engines that we're used to, Continentals, Lycomings, and the like. So I don't know if these are higher revving or lower revving, being a diesel. But anyway, there is a gear, an actual gearbox between the engine and the spinner. So that's cool. Oil and fuel starvation when flying inverted. We are testing that. Stick around for that. That's really cool. Custom fuel pressure simulation. Fuel slosh and starvation when slipping with low fuel. This is something that's very cool that I have a lot of experience dealing with in automotive applications. A couple of the cars that I used to work around and with from a performance part manufacturer, we had, it was kind of funny when you would add downforce, whether it's with stickier tires or aero, if you were running low fuel, and I don't remember which direction it was, but if you're running low fuel, you would fuel starve, turning one direction, and oil starve, turning the other direction. So we had a couple of fixes for those with baffles and some interesting engineering behind that. But fuel starvation with sloshing is a big issue, particularly with side G forces. It will actually fuel starve the engine, which I know might not sound that bad, because it, like if you still have fuel, the engine will still run, but it actually is more about the heat that's generated by the fuel pump not pulling up all the liquid. So it heats up the fuel pump, it heats up the engine, and can cause problems other than just quitting due to lack of fuel, which would be my concern in an aircraft, not necessarily a car. Custom startup and feathering. So those are the power plant custom features to this plane. So there's a couple other things here. There are slight differences on the engine parameters, so temps and pressures. So it's not just even on both engines. Slow and delayed engine indications. Props come off the start lock when the master is turned on. So that's cool as well. Flight model and 3D stuff. So tested and verified by books and DA42 pilots and instructors. So like I said, very much a labor of love in terms of wanting to represent this airframe accurately. Custom elevator, rudder, and aileron animations. Elevator and rudder trim moving the surfaces. So that's cool. Elevator backstop. That has been updated. I don't actually know what that means, so someone please tell me what that means. A tiny bump when dropping the gear. Touchdown drag on the wheels. So that's cool. You actually get a little bit of deceleration, which I don't really feel like is happens a lot in flight simulators. And then windows and doors work as well. So I don't know if that's something that the stock one doesn't do, but there you go. Systems. Let's talk about systems. So accurate electrical system with failures and circuit breakers. So all the circuit breakers are functional now, which is really cool. Custom standby attitude indicators. De-ice system and weight with weight. Custom gear pump simulation with state saving plus emergency gear extension. So that's cool. Custom lighting that warms up and responds to system voltage. So that's cool. And then alternator voltage simulation. Sounds are amazing. There's a simulated headset as well, but I will tell you that the sounds on this plane are almost solely worth it. Very, very cool. Click spots, which we'll go through. If you click between the ECU buttons to press both the ECU test buttons, click on the standby airspeed indicator to use the floodlight, so you don't have to turn around in pitch black to find the switch. So that's a nice quality of life thing. And then the headset jack, which is on the center console, will activate the noise canceling headset. Stick animations are not finished, but the backstop only blocks like 3 pixels of movement, but you can hear the sound. Some other animations are not done yet, so we'll disregard those. So a couple of changes as well. So trim now disables the autopilot. The lean page RPM indication is fixed. There was an issue with that. Smoother standby airspeed indicator. Added shake during high-powered ground run, which I love when mods include that. Increased elevator backstop, and then less neutral elevator trim. So those are all of the features of this plane. And again, I am not an expert in DA42s or DAs at all, but I really, really like just the idea that a group of people that love this plane clearly have done such a great job with the mods here. I really, really like this a lot. So I want to give as much props to the cows team as I can, and hopefully me clunking around with this plane doesn't do any damage to their reputation. What's up, Dave? I did not do chatbot. Let's get chatbot going. So as is customary, we're gonna do this without checklists. Very, very limited in how we're going to use that. So let's go. Parking brake is on. Okay. I did my multi in a DA42. Awesome, man. Super Chicken, what's up? All right, so let's okay. Sweet. Okay. Controls look good. All right, let's what are we gonna do here? We got some rudder trim action. That looks cool. At some point, what I'm gonna do is crank up the audio and mute my microphone so you can actually hear the sounds. Yeah, and the two levers, they are really, really, really easy. So I'm gonna start this thing up. Now I have the Cytec panel with the one switch. So I'm gonna manually start these engines, but I'm gonna crank up the audio here so you can hear how cool this looks. So I'm gonna mute the microphone and crank up the system volume so you can hear this. I'm going to turn that down a little bit because that startup sequence is one of the things that really, really is impressive about this plane. Is it feels like it's been thought through, and I love that. It sounds great. Again, this is, I have zero time in this plane, so I have no idea how accurate it is. Clearly, it sounds like like FlightX says that it sounds exactly like the real thing, which is super cool. So procedurally, I don't know. Like, I turned the fuel pumps off after startup, after the engine startup. So I don't know if that's similar to like Pipers. I don't know if you leave those on or not. That kind of stuff I'm really not gonna worry too much about unless it causes some kind of failure, I guess. Okay, so that is incredibly impressive, and again, like the one of the reasons why I felt comfortable doing this with this plane, without being super knowledgeable about this plane, is one of its key strengths, I think, is the simplicity of it. So this is one of those things where you can get a very realistic, customized um, mod modeled with all the systems and the flight characteristics of the real plane be a very casual flight simmer and still be totally fine. Not to say that the what the hell's that uh, that twin Piper thing that Carenado has. I can't think of the name of it, Aztec or whatever the hell. Not that that is a tricky Seneca. Yeah, the Seneca. Thank you. Not that that's a tricky plane at all to learn how to fly, but again, that's coming from someone that's familiar with Pipers and whatever. I think this is a great sweet spot for a global audience, and a plane that's globally popular, very simple, and provides some cool capabilities with a twin that's kind of fun. I don't think the performance necessarily will be that much better than like a, TN Bonanza or, Mooney or something like that. But one of the reasons why I actually decided to fly in this area was a conversation we had, I think it was last week, about twin engine flying and emergency landings, landing locations in this part of the world. Could you do a VMC stall? We're gonna stall it. We're gonna do some maneuvers, and we're gonna fly it upside down to see if it fuel starves itself. We're gonna do all kinds of stuff. So that is really the extent of everything I wanted to look at on the ground. So we're gonna taxi away here. Take this guy out. I think. Yeah, thank you for that, Hawks. Like that view looks sick with those two discs spinning out there. Yeah, an X-Plane 12 optimized one. I don't know if it's X-Plane 11 as well, but definitely X-Plane 12. Yeah, the wing. I mean, it's a glider wing. It's literally a glider wing. Every time I see DA40s or 20s doing touch and goes, it's always funny to see how far down the runway they float. If you know it's a student pilot, just a massive wing. Really, really cool planes. I mean, the composite monocoque construction, diesel engines. I mean, it's very, very advanced and really cool. Just we don't see a lot of them around here, which is too bad. Almost 10 feet wider than your Moody. Yeah, that's pretty wild. All right, now someone's going to have to educate me here on the ECU test. Is that their version of the run-up? Wasn't actually 100% sure on what ECU test means and why it's important to have both of them pressed. So I guess I'm assuming, based off of the idea that that you can click both of them at the same time, that the run-up is done at the same time. That seems a little counterintuitive. I would think that you would want to do one and the other just so you can focus on both, but maybe it's for validating performance between the two. So let's give that a shot. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna mute the mic, crank the volume, so we can hear the sounds, because I have a feeling this is gonna sound pretty cool. That's freaking awesome. Well done, guys. That is really, really, really cool. Yeah, I really, really like that. Wow.
Way to fuck, Zach.
Sorry, that was inappropriate, but that is that's freaking sweet. So then it will do that for one engine. Will it stop if I let go? Okay. Yep. That is really freaking rad. All right, so I'm gonna leave the headsets off, because it gets really quiet. So the click region is right behind the console there, dead quiet. Let's see. Yeah, you can't like friggin' hear anything, which is awesome, but the sounds on this are so good that I want to see them. Okay, so what we're gonna do a quick lap in the pattern, see if I can land this thing, and then yeah, we'll go have some fun out in the practice area. Fuel pumps on for takeoff. We're gonna do it anyway. It sounds like a piloty thing too. Something tells me you don't need to do that, but. Okay, we'll get flaps to take off. The sensitivity on the rudders is not the plane. So glad I have people that know what the hell they're doing and talking about. Thank you, flight.
Watch the birdie.
What's up, Iowa? I saw the blue line. I barely know that much about multi. Man, I am really digging this plane a lot. Yeah, that's right. We can fly our really annoying John Wayne patterns with this thing. All right, we're gonna guess that the gear safe speed. Yeah, the visibility does look awesome. A little bit warm here. A little bit warm in these in the summer, I've heard. Hey, we can go check out the golf course I'll be playing in a couple of Dude, I am so, it's 188 knots. Good God. Bridge. Oh, trim. I wanted to try that again. Dude, the thing just pops right up. Oh, and I put the flaps all the way up. And that's probably fine, right? I would imagine if you take off with no flaps. This is Tacoma Narrows. It's up in the clouds. Here, so is the gear safe speed VNE? That's convenient. Coming down. Oh, that sound. That is a satisfying thud. All right, now let's see if we can do. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Dude, this thing drags up like a freaking champ. 1,500 feet per minute down. Not speeding up. I'm full idle. Oh, I like this. That perfectly. This is much better landing. Okay, kept the flaps. Oh, that's so satisfying watching that go up. So good. Oh, I love being able to like chuck an airplane at the numbers. Nothing is more satisfying than throw it at the numbers and be done with it. Just a little side note here. This is where I grew up. Dad flew out of this airport for years. Can I have $600,000 please? Yeah, that one was really nice. Yeah, I will post all these in the Discord as well. All right, so let's go do a quick flyby of my old neighborhood and see how quick we can get this thing. So I've just got it pegged right now, and let's see what we can get out of it for speed here. should have pretty accurate readings here, right? Load is 100. Fuel flow is 9.3 per side. There's Gig Harbor. It's my home. High school. Yeah, that's crazy. And we're at just 100% balls to wall. So that's 18 gallons per hour doing 165. So that's not great. I mean, it is a multi, so it's gonna two engines to feed, but yeah, dude, this thing is rad. All right, flight. This is one of the toughest golf courses, really in the country, but for sure in the state. It was ranked number 2 most difficult golf course in the country at one point in the 90s. It has since very much lost that designation, but this thing is brutal. 7,200 yards from the blacks. A lot of blind tee shots. Dude, it is you don't get stuck behind the trees, you just go into them and you're done. Okay, trim disables the autopilot. Yep. Okay, that works. Now let's see if we can starve this thing. What's up, Abalars? It's an altitude. This is freaking bitchy. Yeah, dude, you could definitely land on some of those par 5s. They're huge. 600 yard. Dude, it feels like it. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, dude, how cool is that? Come on. All right, here we go. Oh, it goes quick. Gotta go. Oh, it dies quickly. And starts back up? Wow. I mean, hopefully no one has to test this at all, but does it really die that quick? This is wild. But I know there's got to be, there's some fuel in the lines, and I'm surprised that it stopped that quickly. I would say that it probably takes a little bit longer. All right, so now is there a prop feather? Yeah, it may. I was just gonna say that it may do that on purpose. It may have that modeled on purpose to protect it from blowing up.
Hello. Hi.
So is there a feathering thing? A button for feathering? Yeah, you pull the power level all the way back and then turn auto. Okay. Amba Tugamakai. I butchered that. I apologize. Welcome to the stream. Dude, that was cool. That was cool.
Check gear. Check gear.
So it looks like it already did that. So it is feathered. What happens if... Dude, does this freaking thing just start?
Check gear. Check gear.
Okay, just so that thing doesn't yell at us. Cool. All right. Yeah, that is pretty wild.
Check gear.
Sinking.
Check gear.
There it goes. I mean, we're descending now pretty good, but it's not...
Check gear.
I'm full idle now and full back pressure.
Check gear.
That's full idle and full deflection.
Check gear.
Okay, let's see. Let's try to land this thing now. Simulate engine failure on takeoff. Okay.
Check gear.
That's so nice. You don't have to worry about gear speed at all. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool looking with that engine just dead right there. Okay, gears down, 3 green. hello. Okay. Too many things at once. Yeah, it felt I had it was probably my fault, but I didn't have enough elevator to do that. So I probably was coming in too slow for a single engine. Yeah, I was probably coming in too slow, and just had it was fully trimmed and full pack, so ran out of elevator. So I could probably do that again, but all right. So let's kill the engine on takeoff. See what happens if it has enough gas to get over the tree line. It for sure should be, yeah. Yeah, the Hortons should definitely be available. Take flaps are set. Looks good. All right, how am I gonna do this? All right, this is gonna be kind of tricky. Okay, there's full power.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
this is not fun. Okay, we're gonna Tacoma cheat.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Yeah, you got barely enough juice to get it going. Oh my god, that sucks. I don't like that at all. Oh, dude, it sounds so cool with one engine. Jeez. All right, this is gonna be freaking sketchy as hell. I probably wouldn't really want to like make it this sporty, but pretend like we're that was better. Yeah, that was better. So I just came in. I was coming in too slow and I had too much elevator. Is it gonna restart itself? Oh, that's the air. Oh. That makes sense. So while we were up in the air, flipping the ignition back on, restarted it because we've got airflow over it, so it's going to catch. Here, I actually have to start it. So the left engine's a critical engine. All right, so we're gonna can the left one now. That's really freaking cool. Yeah, so it won't restart itself. It started to, like it moved a little bit, but it didn't catch because we weren't going fast enough. Oh, dude, that's rad. So yeah, canning the left one should make it harder to control. Oh, so that's what I did do. Yeah, so I can the left one was dead. All right, so let's try the right side. Oh, did I? I already forgot. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so can the left one. Right. I mean, at that point, I think you probably do land straight ahead. God, that is on the verge of not being good. Yeah. Yeah, push it with my right foot, yeah. Yeah, but it's like, but it, oh shit.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
She's trying to say sink, right? I put the flaps up. So one thing I don't know, from a procedure perspective, is how quickly you want to get the gear up in a situation where you know you're not landing straight ahead. So, you know, like you've taken off, you're out of runway, but like at what point do you pull that gear up? Because that's super draggy. And I feel like I am waiting too long to get those up, and that's killing acceleration. So yeah, having an underpowered twin is not super fun. Gear up immediately. That probably help. Okay, do I have enough airspeed to get it going? Oh, oh, that's not. I tried to go full power. That's not good at all. Did not like that one freaking bit. This poor airframe is getting put through its paces. Yeah, that is definitely not powered. Yeah, I got a freaking coal burner. Look at that effing wingspan, dude.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Never done that before. And pattern altitude. So kind of in general, I mean, this is very, very much considered a light twin trainer, really, right? Like in Europe, is there really a market for this? Or is it essentially all flight training um, customers for the most part? At the cost, I really like. I would have to look at the actual performance and see if, you know, unless you've got a very specific mission where you're over water or crossing mountains regularly, and need that extra engine safety net. I don't know from a performance perspective, or if you want to show off, yeah. Like what this provides over a Bonanza from getting from point A to point B. That load percentage is really nice. Variability in it's cool. Yeah, the 60, yeah, the 42 being a trainer, yeah, and the 62, I mean, that thing is really a step above for sure. Yeah, I mean, we're in climb power. I'm doing 1,400 feet a minute, and it's showing 9 gallons per hour now. Like that's pretty crazy. All right, I'm trying to get some extra speed, extra altitude. All right, let's see what happens.
Check gear.
Oh, it's the same engine, just ECU tweaks?
Check gear.
Wonder if the airframe wouldn't be able to necessarily handle the extra speed. Just not built for it.
Check gear. Check gear. Check gear.
It doesn't want to stall. Does not want to power off stall. It's just sinking quickly, but that's kind of weird. That's crazy. This should actually do it, maybe. Yeah, does the nose just freaking come down?
Check gear.
Dude, it totally does. Like, can I get this thing
Check
to
gear.
get it to die? Go.
Check gear. Check gear.
Freaking do something. There it goes. There we go. Yeah, okay, good job, Hoss. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, do we have ourselves a flat spin? Oh. Oh no, we do. It is gonna do it.
500.
Found it. Found the anyway. That's unnerving.
Hello. Hi.
That is an unnerving result. Bellamy, welcome to the stream. Is that actually a thing, Flight? Like, is it like not really wanting? Like, is that not good? That was. Well, let's try the right side. Let's see what happens with the right side. Okay. So that was extremely different. I did the exact same thing. So let's try that again.
Check gear.
Ooh, it does not like that side at all. Yeah, and that was a little bit shy on that one.
Check gear. Ship rate.
This is great. I'm like freaking obsessed with this plane. It's so good. All right, let's try. I mean, I'm just at this point just want to freaking rip on this thing.
Ship rate.
How good is this freaking simulator
Check
too?
gear.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Really, really good. And this is even like not considering, you know, what it's like IFR and IFC and doing approaches, and you know, once you get the actual you know, use the plane as it was intended, essentially. You know, we're kind of screwing around. Going pretty good. A little slow on the roll. Yep, dead. Back on again. That's pretty sweet. I know, just. I am so impressed with this. This is hilariously good fun. Really, really freaking easy to fly. Now we have to put it through, of course, the ultimate test. The ultimate mark of a good airplane. The only real crew test of a good airplane. It really slows down nice. Is it better? That's a great question. That's something we can test out. That's so nice. You can just grab the gear at any point. What's up, Skytation? So yeah, I gotta work on the spacing a little bit for that maneuver. Plenty of runway, but I think I probably ate up a little bit too much of that. Trying to keep it a little too tight. Oh, flying monkey. You love it. Every foot of the runway.
What the f***, Brad? Hey, bird. Whoa, buddy.
Send it. Dave, 35 months. Cheers, dude. Oh, look at the textures on this X-Ray. This has to be something that DA pilots do, right? Open this thing up in the summer because you're in a giant. Alright, let's consult the I don't think there's a sound bite for that. He certainly has his share of centerline is human sound clips. Circuit breakers. So circuit breakers actually do work. Start popping them. Important.
You bastard, that was gonna be money!
Yeah, there's the panel lights. So let's turn off. More panel lights. Oh, it actually turned off my SciTech panel too. That's kind of cool. I really want to find the beeping. There it goes. Hold the circuit breaker. Oh, that's freaking great. Oh, that is so fun. Yeah. Yeah, should we do it? Let's,
TOS system test. Okay.
a little squeak. Yeah, that's a good call. Let's see if we can set up some icing. This probably is gonna break everything, but see if get it to do it. Yeah, I don't know if it's like... So it is TKS. Ablars, have a good one, man. Have a great trash day. Have a great trash day. Yes, okay. And where are the... Take a flap set. That's happened to me a couple times recently, where the plane feels like it gets stuck, and then if I just cycle the parking brake, it fixes it.
Hold my Red Bull, boys. We're going full rip.
They're 100% going full rip. Need enough altitude so I don't run into anything. What about the... everything else is electric though? Ablars, I know that's a mind F for sure. Oh yeah, the breaker, the one that was yelling at me. Good call. God, that's really cool that the breakers work like that. I like that a lot. But I never mess with the other. I mean, I feel like the canopy would get pretty frosty quick, right? I mean, old enough. That feels quarter. Is there an actual, or just use snow? I know. It's just, yeah, not this part, not the snow part, but the overcast gray part. Right? I mean, it would be doing it now, I would imagine. Can't see anything. Let's see if it'll turn on. How do you do it? I wonder. It feels. I mean, I'm either it either doesn't model icing, or I am doing icing. And that's with the headset on. Oh. That could be. Where is that's not control options. That's in. Is that in failures? Okay, it is on. Sure. I read it somewhere that they did modify it. I could be. Okay. Well, that's okay. That is. I'm not gonna worry too much about that because it is again probably more my fault than see how far down we got. It's really quiet with the headset. My system just completely freaks out whenever I do like dramatic weather changes. Defaulted to my panel. That was weird. Okay. All right. So quick rundown, Captain Casey, what's up? Quick rundown of the systems that have been modded as I get this thing diverted. For dinner, we got to land and have some dinner. So here are the list of features for this plane. This is from the developer. So FADEC with ECUs, ECU test, ECU errors, ECU runtime saving, and high altitude flameout prevention. Custom manifold pressure and turbo simulation with alternate air and filter icing. Custom water cooling with water pump and thermostat. Custom oil cooling with oil water heat exchanger. custom oil pressure simulation with oil bypass valve, custom gearbox temperature simulation, custom fuel temperature simulation, oil and fuel starvation when flying inverted, custom fuel pressure simulation, fuel slosh starvation when slipping with low fuel, which I love that, custom startup, which sounds fantastic, and feathering, another very cool feature. Is that Olympia just right off the nose there? I feel like that is Olympia, huh? Yes, it is. Okay, so slight differences from the engine parameters, so temps, pressures, and RPM. So there's like slight variations in the engine, which is very cool. Slow and delayed engine indications. Props come off the start lock when the master is turned on. Tested and verified by books and DA42 pilots and instructors. Custom elevator, rudder, and aileron animations. Elevator and rudder trim moving the surfaces. Super cool. Elevator backstop. Tiny bump when dropping the gear. Touchdown drag on the wheels. Locks and doors. Accurate electrical systems with failures and circuit breakers. Custom standby attitude indicators. De-ice system and weight. So there you go. Custom gear pump simulations with state saving and emergency gear extension, custom lighting that warms up and responds to system voltage, cool, alternator voltage simulation, amazing sounds, yeah, ECU test, if you click in between the two, tests both engines at the same time. That's awesome. I just flew HIOTIW for lunch on Saturday over the weekend. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, Narrows is a great airport. I like this plane quite a bit. They did a really good job. It's really fun. It's very easy. I really like it. Yeah, the hub has really good food. Yeah, I really wouldn't know Hawks, but yeah, it seems it has that feeling of it feels like a real plane, even if it's not necessarily
Hello. Hi.
you know, if it's not. David Moon, welcome. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, that is the parking spot right there, dude. That's so rad. Just do that next week. Yeah, that is a great spot. Yeah, that would be really cool. Okay, not worried about the tweaking out radio. Again, I don't know when this plane is going to be released. I don't know how much it's going to be. I don't know a lot of things about this. But I do know that I've had
500.
a lot of fun flying it. I think that from those of you that have actual experience in this plane, it seems like a absolute perfect representation of DA42, and just seems like a really awesome addition to the simulator. It's like, where's the ground? Okay, I get it. I get it. We have all kinds of beeps and crap. Yep, yep. Was it doing what I was just doing? What mine was just doing? Yeah, I'm not sure. What? What a thing. What a thing. Yeah, great job, guys. That shot. Yeah, 10 out of 10 would flat spin into uh freaking Kitsap County. Holy crap. Right into the Purdy Sound. Real freaking awesome.